got that fire, boy.
My name is Michael Chavez, also known as Flamesword, OpTic Flamesword, the OpTic Beard, Lord Farquaad, many other names over the internet, but I like to go by Flamesword or Mike. My role with OpTic Strength is pretty much from a director's perspective. I have this idea, I had this message throughout my entire pro career, right, that I wanted to pretty much pass on to anyone who looked up to me, anyone who was looking to do what I was doing in my career, and figuring that, if this is what, in my opinion, would help me succeed and help me win that first championship, then this is something I want to share. And for the most part, I had a stomach illness, so that's kind of how I got into the whole health and fitness thing. So after that, I was like, okay, gamers are known to be eating pizza, staying up some crazy hours, bad posture because we're gaming like this all day. So things that I just wanted to target, break the stereotype is basically what I wanted to do. I was like, I don't do any of these besides on my cheat day when I do eat an entire pie of pizza. It depends where you live. It might not be a pie at all if you're from the East Coast, but it doesn't really matter. And just wanted to break those stereotypes basically. And with OpTic Strength, that is exactly what we're doing with Casey, Coach T, who's behind the camera right now. He has the professional perspective, the scientific perspective. So anything that I ever had to ask him, he's able to answer. Anything that you guys ask, he's also able to answer those questions. So keep on asking. Initially, the first thing I was brought on board was to get Hex into the best shape that I possibly could get him into. He was getting ready to get married. They're still not sure, I guess, what date that is going to be when they do tie the knot. But basically, I have, from now until that window, is basically like still my main objective, right? And with his busy schedule, it does get crazy because he'll be here for 2 weeks, we'll go for 2 weeks, and then he goes on this crazy schedule of traveling, and then everything that we worked on is broken up. You, Coach T behind the camera, could even attest to that. He has come in, and then he won't come in for a couple of weeks, and then he'll come in again, and it's just a never-ending process. So we have to figure that out with him before he does tie the knot. I'd say the biggest difference now is, I'd say it's the internet, right? Like usually I was definitely a lot smaller, not as strong, basically what the internet wants from someone that is in the fitness industry, right? Like, wait, why do I want to listen to you if you can't lift up the bar? You know what I mean? Little things like that. So I'd say from the beginning till 3 years later to now, I've developed, I'm at the strongest point in my life, probably not the most defined. That was like my younger age, 21, 22. I'm only 27, so it's not that crazy, but at 21, 22, I was really into the bodybuilding thing. Now, Coach T's got me on this mentality game, the strength game, and that's all I want to work on, mobility, strength, and just making sure my mind is greater than anything else. If you're gaming, you need to be focused the entire time. You have to be focused on your target, on your teammates' communications. If it is a team sport, if it's an individual thing, you have to make sure that you're on top of all your little micro moves. You need that natural energy. Yes, I do believe that, the energy drink does help you. It does give you that extra kick that you do need, but you also want that natural energy so you can run on it for as long as you can before you take that energy drink, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be on the same level as everyone else where they're already chugging their energy drinks already an hour into it. You want to be able to do it like an extended period of time, so that way when you do chug yours, you're at a higher level than them and they're coming down.
As far as now, how would you correlate that into almost more of a team aspect? So what could, for instance, because it's been really popular now, I believe FaZe was down, I believe FaZe or whatever team was down with IMG Academy doing stuff like this. You guys had previous experience going out to Red Bull headquarters. From a team aspect, how can this be beneficial, you think?
It's technical. At the end of the day, it's super technical, right? Like if you're doing a squat, a bench press, a deadlift, you have to know every single movement. And same with strategy. You have to know where your teammates are going to be, what you guys talked about. It's all coordinated, just like you coordinate your body to make sure you do that compound lift. Whatever lift it may be, the right way, not the wrong way. Everyone is different for sure. It might look different from other people, but what you got to figure out is your body, those main movements, right? Like which way you have to coordinate to get the move done, and it's the same thing in gaming. If you don't talk with your teammates, if you don't figure out who's doing what, then your strategy sucks. Bottom line, you know what I mean? You have to talk over that stuff over and over and over, and that's how you succeed. The number one thing I've got from all of this is this body that I started with. It wasn't it didn't start off the best. Definitely went down some crazy paths of, you know, eating just eating awful, like the worst kinds of foods you could think about. Ended up getting erosive gastrosis and esophagitis, which was a huge like turning point in my life. After I learned about those and that I might have a potential stomach tumor down the road in my life, then, you know, I was like, all right, let me make sure that, you know, this body that I have is the Ferrari that everyone wants to buy, right? Like, let me make sure that everything is tuned up. It could go the fastest. It could do whatever I want. Whatever I put my mind to it, it has to be able to do that. And I'd say that's the #1 thing, right? Like, definitely when I was younger, I was like, I want to be the most ripped. I want to be like the most jagged, most defined. And then as that entire experience or that entire incident happened, I was like, you know what, that's not what I want. I just want to be healthy. I want to live as long as possible. I want to be able to experience different things. I never want someone to hit me up, say, yo, Mike, let's go do this. And I'm like, oh, man, I just can't physically do that. Like, I never want to be put in that position at all. So this right here is everything that I have to thank for.
That's a great point. Okay, so you kind of answered it as we've gone through these questions subliminally here, but from where you were to where you have been as far as why do you train, looking forward from this point on, what's your future as far as why are you going to be training?
Two big reasons. One is to obviously keep my body going, keep it as young, as healthy, as strong, as mobile as possible. And then most importantly, for everyone watching, the amount of people that have accumulated over the years since I've joined OpTic, since I used fitness, I tested the fitness being one of the biggest reasons of my championships while I was competing, and people just following that, like, yo, Mike did it, and this is, you know, what helped him succeed in the gaming world, let me do it as well. Now I have people going, yo, Mike, I'm just trying to lose weight and feel good. I really want that, you know, my body to be as good as I possibly can get it, because you're right, man, this is the only thing we have from start to end, so I got to work on it. So at the end of the day, you know, I'm making sure that my body is entirely good to go for as long as it possibly can. And then everyone watching, man, if you want to continue following along, then that's the whole goal right there behind it. The biggest thing is that it's an interactive channel, right? Like, I want to get as many people watching in these why do you trains, right? You guys are watching, we also want to know why you train, not just the stars, the YouTubers, the Twitter stars, whatever they may be, right? I want to make sure we still pick you guys up. We put you all up on here. If you want to record, send us the footage, we can make it happen. Coach T will jump in a Skype call, we'll get you in it. But the biggest thing I'm looking at this channel is just being super interactive and making sure everyone who's watching is also involved.
Cool. Any last comments, thoughts?
Most importantly, as always, live big, train smart. Okay, that's a wrap.